Overwatch Apex Season 3, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, BK Stars, Rhinos Gaming Wings.
Welcome back, Apex fans. We are going to our second match of the evening. It's our second match for Group C as well. It seems to be the Rhinos Gaming Wings having the crowd on their side this evening. And it's going to be a better series, I feel like, than our first one. That's at least the expectation that we have going into the second match, as the first match was surprisingly one-sided.
That's putting it lightly, I'd say. It was very stompy for MVP Space, who very convincingly took down Flash Slugs. But this one should be a bit closer on paper. Rhinos Gaming Wings landing higher up in the Challenger Season 3 bracket, so finishing a bit higher there than the rest of the teams that we've seen so far. So they could put up a stronger performance. Also played the most games out of anybody else in the promotion tournament. Failed to qualify during the group stage, had to go down into the losers bracket, and then won. Also the only team that lost to a Freak of Freaks Red, and then beat them 3-2 in the final game. So it was a very close series. Yeah. So we almost had a Freak of Freaks Red back in. God forbid. But Rhinos Gaming, they did look, they had their moments where they looked really good, but then they also had those moments where they looked really bad. So the consistency has not been there for them, but neither has it been there for BK Stars.
Well, I feel like for BK Stars, the big story for them is that Bunny and Carpe are just only playing the Tracer, only playing the Genji. They're so locked into this this 2-2-2 composition, the dive comp, if you will, that they're running with the Genji, the Tracer, the Winston. But when you look at the composition of Rhino Gaming Wings as a team, you get the Genji player Envy, could play a really good Zarya, he's got a strong Roadhog. The hero pool of Rhino Gaming Wings is much larger, so I feel like that's going to be a big story going into this best of 5, is Rhino should be able to be more flexible on some of these maps. Well, what are you looking at over there?
They have something else on the Korean screen that distracted me there for a second. But I was going to say, here we go. We'll finally go and pop it up on our monitors so you guys can join in. So fans out here for Rhinos Gaming Wings as well as BK Stars. So both teams getting quite a lot of representation here from the fans in the audience.
And some really cool fan signs here as well. Nice drawing there.
I spot a certain Mr. Somebody in the audience, but I don't know if we're going to highlight over him. Internet Hulk has joined us, it seems.
Also, Bastion is here.
Yeah. we have a
He's
Bastion.
Angry. He turned red.
He's pissed off that we didn't only have to see him for one, round of King's Row.
Could be seeing him a little bit more. There's Internet Hulk.
There we go.
Right in the crowd. Came out here, has been doing a little bit of work with Rogue in this tournament. Was here for their match, of course, last Friday.
Yeah.
So,
and they ended up winning that. They have to improve on the 2-point capture. That was a bit rough, but looked a little bit like Flash Lux there. But overall, it was a pretty good performance from Rogue. So looking forward to them, because I mean the next couple matches coming up in the next 2 weeks are going to be very high tension, going up against Kongdu Panthera, who almost beat Lunatic High, and then Lunatic High themselves waiting, I believe, the week after next.
That's right.
So it'll be next Friday.
Just not this Friday. I believe it's the Friday following this one.
I forget. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
But anyway.
It's before the end of the month.
Let's take a look at BK Stars, of course, as we go into this video. See how they're feeling about this upcoming best of 5.
메타전 처음 경기하면서 메타의 투투투 조합이 저희 3딜 메타에 카운터 되는 캐릭터가 많았어요. 그 픽에 대해 유동적으로 바꾸지 못해서 아쉬운 부분이 있었어요.
시간 있으면 뭐? 중기
완전히 적응 끝났고 이제 잘하는 모습만 보여드리면 될 것 같습니다. 이번 조가 저번 시즌 팀링이 두 팀이나 껴있어서 복수를 할 수 있는 그런 조 같아서 저희한테는 엄청난 행운이라고 생각해요. 승리를 편성하자면 저희가 그래도 엠비어스 팀보다는 높은 자리에 있을 것 같아요. 4등은 라이너스 팀이요. 라이너스 팀은 3탱 위주의 플레이를 하다 보니까 겐트윈디 돌격 조합에 되게 약해서 저희 팀한테 호되게 당할 것 같습니다. 일단 퓨리 선수의 자리아가 되게 공격적이거든요. 그 선수만 마킹을 잘한다면 무난하게 3대 0으로 이길 것 같습니다. 메타가 변하는 만큼 유동적으로 바뀌지 않으면 살아남기 힘들 거예요. 저희 팀한테 왜 지는지도 모르면서 지게 될 거예요. 되게 각오하셔야 될 거예요. 저번 시즌에서 되게 무력한 모습만 보여드렸는데 이번 시즌 꼭 좋은 성적 낼 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 많이 응원해주세요. 화이팅!
Strong words coming from Carpe, the player who played 99.99 repeating percent Genji last series, same as Bunny. Talking about changing flexibility and compositions being the key to victory, but that was exactly what they did not do in their previous series against Meta Athena.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta, talk the talk, I suppose. But we'll see if they have that flexibility. Maybe they've been able to work on that over this last week. Try to get themselves together, make sure that they can play a bit looser and change things around on the fly. Because, I mean, they don't have a sub player that they can flex in. They don't have that available to them, so they need to be fluid with their play and with their hero pool during this series, especially because BK already suffering a loss. They suffer a loss here to the hands of Rhinos Gaming Wings. Their chances of making it out of the group are not going to be very high, and you heard yet again more strong words as they said that they think that they will best Envious as well.
Yeah, and I think Rhinos is the weakest team in the group as well. We'll see if that ends up being true here. Bunny and Carpe both, the Tracer Genji, trying to carry their teammates on their backs. We're going to jump into the video, though, of Rhinos Gaming Wings to see what they have to say against their opponents of BK Stars.
에이펙스 시즌3 마지막 한 장은 라이너스 게이밍 윙즈에게 돌아갑니다.
지옥에서 올라온 라이너스 게이밍 윙즈입니다. 챌린저스 시즌 1 때부터 하면서 밥도 제대로 못 먹으면서 그냥 연습하고 그렇게 했었는데 많이 힘들었어요. 시즌 2 때 챌린저스 팀들이 에이펙스에 몇 팀 꼈었잖아요. 많이 부러웠죠. 저희는 아직도 챌린저스인데 우리 더 올라갈 수 있었는데 생각하면서 그냥 계속 연습하고 그랬었어요. 그냥 다시 리빌딩하면서 많이 세져서 시즌 3 때는 이제 희망을 많이 받았었죠. 저희 팀은 로드오그를 낀 형템 조합을 많이 사용하는데 거기서 힘싸움을 자주 하는 플레이 스타일을 가지고 있습니다. 저희가 승강전 때 돌진 조합의 약한 모습을 많이 보였었는데 그래서 그걸 보완하는 거에 좀 중점을 많이 두고 연습하고 있는 것 같아요. 이번 시즌 키플레이어로는 저희 팀에선 MB 선수를 뽑고 싶어요. 좀 오폭이 넓으면 못하는 챔프가 있을 수도 있는데 MB 선수는 다수종급이에요. 계속 그런 얘기만 했어요. 8강만 가자고. 이제 새롭게 시작인데 8강 가고 이제 다음 시즌 더 올라가고 그러면 되는 거니까. 시즌 3 동안 챌린저스에서 고생하면서 올라온 만큼 기존의 에이펙스 팀들에게 밀리지 않게 계속 좋은 모습 점점 발전해 나갈 테니까 많이 기대해 주세요.
Well, there you have it. The words coming out of Mango's mouth. Looking for the quarterfinal finish and then, improve from there. So already a bit of a bold prediction here for these guys. Young, up-and-coming team. But, they mentioned, being very shoehorned into that triple tank composition, not really being able to do the dive comp. It was one of the few, these guys here were one of the few teams that we saw use it during the promotion tournament. They said that they've invested this time since then into improving it. And that could be very crucial going up against the likes of BK Stars, who have not shown flexibility in adjusting their hero pool.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the things that Rhinos Gaming Wings has against BK Stars. They've had so much time to prepare and practice that dive pump, but they have the ability to flex back into the triple tank if it becomes necessary, if they think that's going to be something that's going to win out this series for them on certain maps. So look towards that. Envy, so large of a hero pool. Can play anything from the Genji to the Zarya. When you compare Envy and Carpe together, it just feels like Envy has so much more flexibility, so much more you can pull from. And BK Stars, if you focus on their VODs from the match against Meta Athena, you just directly counter their 2-2-2 and their double dive with the Tracer and the Genji they've been running every single time. Here they are, Bunny and Carpe, playing almost exclusively the Tracer and the Genji.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll see what they can bring out. Because, like I mentioned, need to be flexible, need to be able to adapt to Rhinos Gaming Wings. Because while they have been improving on this dive composition, that's not to say that we're only going to see that from them. Could be the triple tank, could be the 2-2-2 coming through. So BK Stars have to be the one responding to this. They need to have a better showing if they want to actually make it out of this group. They say that they're going to finish above Envious. If they lose here to Rhinos Gaming Wings, they're probably going to be the 4th team in this group.
That's right. Bernard has shown the ability to flex into the Soldier to give their 2-2-2 the extra triple DPS. And Tarpon has been playing exclusively the Winston. He's replacing Alarm, who's moved into the Ana/Zenyatta secondary support role. Has played a little bit of Sombra, not as much as some of the other players in this tournament, especially some of the higher tier teams. We've been seeing a lot more of that. Says he switched it exclusively because he thought Ana was a much more fun hero. But he played actually a little bit more Zenyatta than the Ana in their match last week.
We'll see what Amy's going to do. You know, don't have too many resources here to figure out what he's going to be, but given that Mango was the Ana player coming in, we expect that he's probably going to take up the helm of being the Lucio there for Amy, and then maybe even have Mango flex over onto that Zenyatta.
Yeah, could be. And Mango had some incredible biotic grenades. That's really the thing that I want to highlight exclusively about him. And then triple tank, which you saw so much from Rhino Gaming Wings. That's very important. So we're going to our first map now, Control. See where the draw has it here in the second best of 5. Looks like we are going to Oasis.
All right, first time Oasis in a while, at least for me here. So decided to dive back in.
All right, so there's going to be a lot of different flexibility on this map. We've seen a lot of McCree here, actually, but the dive pop is very strong. If you go back and watch the Apex Season 2 finals, it's almost exclusively what we saw there. Who are you and Haksal? And we'll see if BK Stars will just continue to use this dive composition. If it's not broken, don't fix it, I suppose. But if it stops working, will they be able to adapt? That's my biggest concern for them in this best of 5, as Rhinos Gaming Wings has already shown very strong triple tank.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to Meta Athena, a team that we know has really no bounds when it comes down to their hero pools, when it comes to their strategy. So if Rhinos have been working on that flexibility as well, BK Stars might just find themselves at another loss and potentially just remaining in the bottom side of that group.
All right, guys, let's jump into game number 1 on Oasis. Find out who's going to take the lead.
Get it?
So fans from both sides here trying to win that cheer war. The Rhinos fans, they're a little bit riled up, you'd have to say.
So it looks like we're going to start things off with Pharmacy here for the Wings. See, this is a really strong map for it. Looking to be on the Winston. We'll see if they change. As you said, this may just be a teasing, but we've seen this a lot already. Carpe on the Genji and Bunny on the Tracer. Alarm actually probably going to switch that with Bernard if they're going to run the Soldier. That's how they've been playing it so far. Unless they want to run just this triple DPS 2-tank solo support, not switching. Looks like they want to roll with it, so Alarm does have some pseudo healing you can put off here with the Soldier, but it's mostly just that solo Lucio support.
This is going to be so difficult to pull off here, I feel, from the side of BK Stars. It's all about positioning for Twinkle. He needs to be on the ball with this Lucio, constantly on top of his teammates, which just makes it even more difficult when there's a boosted Pharmacy comp coming through from the enemy. If he gets taken out, the BK Stars, basically, they just get wiped across the floor. He's already firing up from above. You see the D.Va chasing in, trying to work him down with the help of Carpe. They will do just that.
Get him with the dash kill, and Alarm is doing so much extra here. It feels like it's just kind of a direct counter to the Pharah composition. The Pharmacy coming out, they have that extra ability to shoot from range. It worked out very well. They immediately targeted it down. Bernard was up in the sky. Rhinos Gaming will stick with it regardless of this struggle for the first push. But already BK Star is building up that capture.
Yeah, definitely a good start here. And Twinkle, keeping everybody topped up thus far. Target selection's really what brings them out ahead so far. So a decent start. We'll see how long they can hold on to this point as they've just passed 20%.
Just doesn't feel like Envy's able to hit the shots so far, actually, despite having good angles and no protection. Bunny gonna go and dash in here, but Pharah's just not getting the picks that she needs to be. As I say that, though, does get the pick on the Twinkle.
Yeah, but they lose Amy, so no more boosted rockets coming out, and the Envy does go down, so BK Stars yet again winning out on these exchanges. Bunny, full spawn ready to go, just doesn't feel a need to use it yet. Go in, try to pop that mech down on Fury, but they just shoved them back, and you can see the swaps will be coming through, so Envy swapping over onto this Genji.
Swaps like this, definitely coming out a bit late, you could argue. Not going to have the res either. Just switching Amy onto the Zenyatta. Already 60% here for BK Stars, so hold on to the Dragon Blade. They're going to have the sound barrier to pair with that. Okay, here comes the sound barrier right now already. Bunny looking for the backside push here. They want to knock the D.Va out of the mech.
Hasn't found anything yet, but actually Oxo takes out Alarm, so a nice pick off there for the side of the Wings. Can they get more though? Cardbait coming straight down in on top of Oxo, does take him out, but he gets answered for by Umte, but it's just going to be a bloody back and forth from both sides. Wings on the point, trying to get a cap in, but you can see the delay here from BK Stars. Is doing so much work as they approach 90% self-destruct. Won't find anything, and Buddy goes down. They picking up another kill. Looks like we might finally have the cap here for the side of Wings. Does come through, 94% already accrued.
BK Stars just wanted to force them to use as many ults as they could to take the point because they have the ult lead right now, and Fury did drop down that self-destruct that's not going to be available. They have that Dragon Blade. They held on to it. The only thing they used was a sound barrier. I mean, Carbide won't have the protection, but he can still look for an angle here. Unfortunately, picked off already by Envy. It's not going to be the push for them.
Yeah,
There's a second kill here with Oxo.
Yeah, nice pulse bomb. Amy gets taken out. Bunny actually finishes off Fury, gets him out of the back and then takes him down. Now Alarm coming in with attack visor, popped on the high ground, looking for a target. Envy dashes forward, trying to take him out, has to back off. Deflection not enough to help him win that exchange. Primal Rage popped out onto Umte, just trying to smack that soldier away. So ultimate's used on both sides.
Bunny is just carrying this point by himself, man. He's got now 4 in this last exchange, and to get more, there's the pick onto Oxo, and now Carpe has the freedom to use this Dragon Blade.
Will that be the retake? Looks like it might just happen here. 94% swapped over, 51 picked up here for Wings. They have the 2 ultimates available, Dragon Blade and the Transcendence. Amy's going to go ahead and use the ladder, but they can't get back onto the point in time. Primal Rage pop. Keep them all shoved off, and very swift take for BK Stars on City Center.
A little bit trigger happy, perhaps his Alarm on the tack visor there, but once Bunny got several kills, he felt comfortable to use it to commit there, and they kept staggering the respawns of Rhinos Gaming. They couldn't come in, and no one was able to deal with Bunny. When we talk about how he's been kind of a one-trick tracer, but when you're that good at it, perhaps it just doesn't even matter. If you can make it work in this meta. The Rhinos Gaming Wings had a tough time to start things off, though, with Envy not finding much with the Pharah opening. The Pharmacy didn't work. They didn't even get a res off, so they had a rough start from the beginning. BK Stars always had the lead in ults. They're very conservative with them. They start things off with a win here. So it looks like Envy's going to run this Sombra here. We've seen this a lot already on this map, specifically on this point.
Yeah, University is a crucial one here. Envy having some trouble. Some struggles there getting downstairs,
yeah.
But he'll get it eventually so he can get the hack onto that 200 HP health pack down below the point. You can see the translocator was tossed out, and now he can start building up for those EMPs. So a bit of a delay build up there for him. You can see already Umte going down, picking up the health pack, helps him out, but he still goes down as Bunny's there waiting for him. It's going to be an exchange across the board there, Winston for Winston. As they start fighting over the point, BK looking like they might just have the fast track on this one. Got it ticked up to about half HP, but you can see them pitching in from the sidelines. Envy starting to poke out here, has to jump off. Still no cap for either side.
EMP being held here for the last second. Translocator going to use defensively. Wants to be pop this and drop down. Maybe doesn't need it, because they will get the first cap here. Have a pulse bomb available in just a moment. And BK Stars is once again running this solo support Lucio with a triple tank. Not enough healing perhaps here. They had to back off. They're going to have the sound barrier for the retake. We'll see if they stick with this though. Bernard's actually going to switch over to the Roadhog. Still running the triple tank. EMP going to be used defensively here. They're just waiting for an angle for it.
And it's good adaptation here, I have to say, by Wings, because, you know, they're trying to match this one with Mango playing the Tracer. And Envy going over to the EMP, though, gets dropped out here by Envy. They find a kill in onto Bernard, and Bunny goes flying off the map. That's going to be a near wipe coming through here for the side of Wings. Leap in from Alarm, gets the hack off.
Really good accuracy, accuracy from Envy here. And we talk about his flexibility heroes now showing the Sombra as well. Add that to the list. And you talk about how they match it with solo Winston, but they have the extra healing from Oxo on the Soldier. They have the extra health pack as well for more sustain in these fights. The extra health pack hack is just more healing overall for Rhinos Gaming Wings. It's also helping to build that EMP, which they've used twice now already.
Sound barrier comes down, and Tarpon's already going to be the first one that dies. Envy finds that kill, and now the attack visor coming out here from Oxo. Kites around the side, throws out the Helix rockets, and helps take down a couple members here of BK Stars who are really struggling to get themselves onto the point. Got the cap about, just beyond 50%, but that's because Wings was playing into that side flank.
Envy is
and they
really,
just wipe him.
Envy's really killing it right now. Find a nice angle there to get the hack onto Tarpon to actually knock him out of the fight. Didn't even need to use the EMP, didn't have it yet, but has it now. They just need to hold one more push. Several ults available for BK Stars, but if they get EMP'd, they can't use them. So this is going to be a really nice timing here for Envy to drop the hack.
Tossing it out, goes in, drops it down. Self-destruct chucked into the backside. Not going to find any kills here for the side of Wings, but it does zone BK back yet again and allows them to pick up 2 kills. Tarpon and Carpe go down. Mango, the healer, the support player, showing some prowess here with this Tracer just consistently dashing around and harassing the back line of BK Stars and just making sure they can't make it into the point. Say does go down as Bunny is able to come up with the kill, answers with one onto Mango, so winning out that Tracer battle, showing himself and saying, you know what, I'm the one that plays the DPS. I'll be winning these exchanges, and BK Stars finally push in during overtime to get their first cap.
Yeah, Rhinos Gaming wanted to commit there to stopping this to get the full capture there, 100-0. Envy did use the EMP perhaps a little bit early. They did get the pick on the Tarpon immediately. It prevented them from using his ult, but now he still has it here defensively. Rhinos Gaming just going to keep Envy on the zone. We're looking forward to using that aggressively to come in for the EMP. There it is.
Back in, it gets dropped down. Carpe not able to use the Dragon Blade, at least not for the moment. And he actually dies before he can get it off. Umte comes up with a kill. Envy has been killed, so delaying another EMP from coming through, but that doesn't stop the rest of Wings from getting onto this point, nearly getting that recap. Tarpon starting to push back in, but can't play quite up onto the point, and that's going to force out the overtime yet again as BK looked for another retake. Only got 36%. Attack visor popped out here. Carpe going low, has to dash down into the pit, works his way back up, gets taken out. Bernard goes down as well. And it's really all on Bunny to try to delay this one.
There's just nothing to prevent Oxo from getting 3 kills with the attack visor. Doesn't even have to aim here, and they will have the hold, it looks like.
That's going to, maybe be
Tarpon.
Bunny steps on.
Step on it. There he goes. Does get in here.
Bouncing back in, but Bunny goes down. Tarpon's going to die, and that's likely going to be the drop. There it is. So a 1-1 Wings fire back on University.
Just more efficient fighting there at the end, obviously removing the shields, and everyone had to step onto the point, and that's when Oxo popped the attack visor with essentially just a free firing range, nothing to stop him from getting the kills. If anyone steps off, the overtime expires, so respawn started to stagger. We're going to a third point, as you mentioned. Felt like the EMP usage was really well done early on, and they had more consistent healing with all the health packs coming out, plus Oxo having the ability to drop down that healing versus just the solo support from the Lucio. We're just going to see Pharmacy on both sides this time, it looks like. So head into Garden. For this one real quick, Oxo on the Tracer this time. So both teams going to really have to rely on their Pharah accuracy in that Pharah versus Pharah battle. There's not that much to knock them out of the sky. Carpe could try. It's just the lack of flexibility. He's just going to stick with the Genji here.
Just trying to get it. Finds the one body shot, but the heal's coming back through, so they will stay safe. Bunny almost falls off.
Has to use recall early.
Yeah, still just trying to get these shots in onto Amy. He goes low, dashes to the side, but gets taken out in the end. But 2 kills have been traded back here in favor of Wings. 3 now as Carpe goes down. Envy takes them out with the rockets, and Wings are looking for yet another first cap, but BK, even with their limited members that are still here on the point, are fighting tooth and nail to stop this from happening, but as Bunny dashes off and goes down, cap will come through for Wings.
Oxo was getting kills on the ground where we were watching Bunny trying to knock members out of the air. He did get the kill onto Amy eventually there, but so much of his time, so much of his DPS was wasted on the chase there, whereas Oxo cleaned up the ground, and that's how our Rhinos Gaming was able to kind of snowball that fight into their favor. Amy has the lead on Rez too now, which is very important. So we're going to see this Pharah battle ensue once more. That's just the way of this point. No shots connecting here for Bernard at all, sadly.
It can be so difficult to land these shots.
Now, here's some flexibility from Carpe.
Yeah, Carpe looking for that hit scan, comes back out here with the McCree, already takes out Amy, hoping to chunk down onto this D.Va as well. Fury, he'll pop out, he'll go down. So Wings, they basically get wiped. The cap comes through here for BK, much more timely this time around. 41%.
You can see finally when the flexibility from Carpe comes in, he picks a hero that can knock these members out of the sky because Bunny alone just wasn't able to do it. Bernard's accuracy not good enough, and that just turned the tide of this exchange in the 6v6. Obviously, you having that hit scan to target down these very squishy flying heroes was really good there for Carpe, and this is one of the question marks going into the series is, will he be able to flex when it matters most, or is he just going to be a one-trick Genji? The answer has been given to us, at least in this first set.
Yeah, the shots coming through already have been pretty good. He's going to use the Deadeye, looking for a target, finds Oxo of all people to take out. Gets rid of that Tracer.
Rez for a Rez.
Yeah, Rez does come through here for BK as they try to maintain control over the point. The recap almost coming through here for Wings, but now maybe starting to get shoved back a little bit as they lose out on a Mango. Empty popping the barrage, but will just get taken down by Bunny on the ground floor.
Carpe really showing some great McCree here. Just looking at those stats, it's his second most played, but we're talking he's played 50 times more Genji than the McCree.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely has it in his pocket though.
It's not, it's not the time when McCree is not going to be like every shot's a headshot, but he's landing these body shots, and it still is allowing for them to just consistently chip down people, force Wings back, and they do eventually get that recap or hold on to the point here.
Sound barrier coming in here for both sides as Bunny's looking for the pulse bomb, looking for the chase here. Not able to get it, spending so much time. He does get it eventually there onto Umte.
It takes him out, but look at this, Wings, the rest of the team is just being manhandled by BK Stars, even with Bunny not being there, offering up this DPS from the Tracer. They're still just annihilating them as they maintain control. 90% about to come through.
Looks like Rhinos Gaming Wings are going to have one more chance to try to delay this.
They have to go, Rhinos has to go through here, get a recap with a res available, so Alarm has to be one of the first targets that they go for.
They need to get on it, first of all. They're going to dive in now.
They start working their way in. Umte was the one, but he gets taken out. Carpe finds him in midair.
There's
Amy
the double.
Going low. Can he get the last shot? Doesn't quite
get
it.
Yeah.
Look at that passive healing coming through. Now the Deadeye pop, but won't find much. The res coming out here from Amy, trying to keep Wings in the fight. Arm has used his as well. Several members of BK coming back through, and Amy just going off the map, drifting off to a very slow death. Will get taken out.
Carpe's down as well.
Wings might just have an opening here. Several members. Bunny, the only one left alive. If they kill him, this will be the cap. And actually, he doesn't even want to challenge this. Just lets it go over. But this has to be one hell of a hold for Wings. No ultimates available. A couple on the way.
Unavailable here at the moment in time. The Deadeye is going to be up soon for Oxo, who's also made the switch. Envy's going to have the rocket barrage. It's really going to be about Carpe. Can he knock Envy out of the sky? Either during the barrage or before it. I think that's going to be a big turning point here potentially for BK Stars. All eyes on Carpe really for that one as Bernard's looking for his own rocket. We can knock him out of the sky first. It won't matter. Misses the shots here onto Amy, sadly.
Yeah, he's trying to go straight up into his face, but this just puts him at a pretty disadvantageous position because he's not paying attention to the enemy Pharah, but that's going to be the barrage coming down, pops the mech, but won't find much more than that as he gets taken out. Mango coming up with a double kill, gets rid of Bernard and Alarm. So now that Mercy, not going to be there, not building up for another res. It's about to be 90% here for Wings. As we get closer to another overtime fight, can they hold on to it? Still have the sound barrier and the Deadeye available from Oxo.
They're going to have the ability to use Primal Rage to stall out some time to maybe get that res, but it's going to take a while. Sound barrier is very close, as mentioned. Oxo's already used the Deadeye, doesn't find any picks. Okay, here we go. It's going to be all about the delay tactics. Who wants to use that Primal Rage? Here it is.
Cap getting ready to come through. Sound barrier thrown down from both sides, but MT is going to be the first one to fall. Sprinkle finds the kill. A double as he gets rid of Mango, and Oxo zoned out the back by the Primal Rage. Rez comes through here from the side of Amy, but still several more members go down. Envy immediately dying as a recap has happened, and that is going to be the finish. BK Stars come up with the win on Oasis.
So close there. I feel like this was really just started by the switch from Carpe onto the McCree. That was how they really turned that situation from a somewhat neutral Pharah versus Pharah situation into a we can dominate this BK controls, even forcing Oxo then on the Tracer to switch back to the McCree himself. Did get the Deadeye there at the end, which was really painful. He's holding on to that one for so long. Just didn't find anything there, and we saw the Lucio double come in. Things just got out of control there very quickly. Blakeney's swap for Carpe onto the McCree, though, was showing, again, he has this flexibility. He hasn't really shown us very much in this tournament. Perhaps I was too quick to judge in terms of heroes played. She looked really good once he pulled it out. Very accurate there. And we also saw Envy with, I feel like, much more significantly worse accuracy on the Pharah. It was an issue overall going into this first map.
Yeah, Envy hasn't been having the impact that, you know, his team hyped him up to have, that even BK Stars hyped him up to have. They said, you know, Envy's the one that we have to worry about, and it hasn't really been that way yet for the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. It's really been about Oxo as far as the DPS is concerned. So they still are showing some flexibility, but answered, as you say, by the likes of Carpe, who brings out that McCree. So it's good to see from him. Definitely a lot of room for improvement to work his way up to try to be considered one of the great McCrees here in Korea. Still a far cry from that, but sure, a good performance overall.
Eichenwald will be our map here to the choice of Rhinos Gaming Wings. Hybrid is their best map type. Most wins there. Very close to control, though. 5-2 and 6-3. This is going to be a very dive-oriented comp, especially on the attack. You can see, especially holding that top castle, once you do eventually capture that payload, dive is required usually to take control of that high ground. So I think it's going to be a map that really does play well into BK Stars, though, with how well they played the dive and how much they've shown of it, how comfortable they feel on it so far. Rhinos Gaming Wings may try to run something different or unusual here on the defense. They've shown more flexibility than BK Stars has in this tournament so far. So we are going into map number 2 now, Eichenwald for the hybrid. BK Stars with a close victory there on our first map. Rhinos Gaming Wings looking to tie it up, though, as we jump into game number 2.
I get it.
All right, here we go. In on to Eichenwald. Nice to see. Tired of seeing Kings Row all the time.
Yeah.
Changing things up a little bit. A couple of Nimbani's thrown in there as well. So
Yeah, definitely a lot more flexibility than we've seen in the past.
it's one of the more fun maps to watch, in my opinion. It's for my personal taste. There's a lot of strategies that you can use. I mean, Pharmacy we see sometimes on Assault because you can wrap around the right or the left-hand flank without being seen, get that surprise attack coming through.
No, it's not out of the question that we could see Oxo actually try to run this Hanzo on the attack, at least for the first point. We've seen it quite a few times, yeah. So it's not totally out of the question. We'll see if he wants to commit to it. With the comp they have right now, he would be the solo DPS, so it feels unlikely. It may just be the Sound Arrow, and he's going to switch to the Tracer, which would be more common. But Envy's on that Zarya, so the triple tank composition that Rhinos Gaming Wings are known for, the Zarya and the Diva there with the Reinhardt for the attack.
It's going to be Oxo. He's going to be trying to scout out here. If there's anybody playing around onto that left side, won't get a spot. He's swapping through Tracer maybe? No, McCree.
The McCree is going to be solo range DPS on the McCree. Tracer going to be a bit tougher to pull off, I guess, in terms of consistent damage. They do swing around here. Also looking for the back poke here. This is the stun.
No flashbang connection there. Gets dropped, keep him alive. At least for the moment as they try to posture forward, but the big deflection coming through. Dunks out Oxo. He goes low, but is able to kite back, but they lose him. So Wings getting their push halted already.
This is going to be the solo tank Winston and the triple DPS for BK Stars. They showed us so much with Bernard on the Soldier. The Discord orbs, there's just so much damage potential here. That's why Umte was blown up so quickly around the side there by Bunny. Just so many different ways to deal with the Reinhardt with his composition for BK Stars that has so much range DPS and so much mobility. Oxo can do harass a little bit. Bunny has a pulse bomb now for the backside here. Immediately, D.Va answers him. He's going to be forced away. Just for the pick on the Umte once more, just harassing the Reinhardt nonstop, trying to turn that shield around.
See if we can find anything though. Tarpon does go down. Pulse bomb gets connected in onto Umte. The sound barrier coming through keeps him alive. At least for the moment. That's going to be the nano boost used in onto Envy. On that Zarya, we saw from the highlight reel how deadly he can be with this pick. Trying to track down Bunny, however, going to be a bit of a task. So we'll give up on that and instead go ahead and turn his attention over onto Padar, who's up on that high ground. Transcendence coming through, but the Heal and Eye make sure that the Soldier cannot get popped back up, so he goes down. Able to trade one in onto Mango, and Envy still firing away. Has this Graviton Surge ready to come through? Does he want to drop it? It's going to be the question.
Just drops it down right here onto the payload. Everyone has trapped him, but he's taken out. Carpe pops the Dragon Blade. They want to retake. And with these 3 picks, they certainly will.
They get absolutely nothing for the Graviton Surge. It took a while to build up. Had to invest a nano boost in there to really help him get it. So overall, Wings falling very short on that push. They do get the double tick, however. But a minute and a half remaining. We'll see what they can get done. Have a couple ultimates to their names at the moment, one of them being that Earth Shatter. So Umte, if he can line up 3-4 members of BK Stars, they could very well find the push.
It's always been Bunny who's looking for the pick onto Umte. Once his shield is down, they have so much damage. He's going to actually look for the Soldier this time. He fails the Pulse Bomb. That's one tool they don't have now.
No stick, but here we go. Umte already dies with the Earth Shatter available. Self-destruct tossed out by Fury. Not going to find much as he re-enters into the mech. And Wings, they just have to kite back. Now the only thing they have is that Reinhardt ultimate and the sound barrier that's about to come up here for Amy.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It felt like that was very Hail Mary what they tried to commit to there. The self-destruct especially just really felt like a shot in the dark. Totally whiffed. Once again, Umte the first to fall every time so far in these fights. Sound barrier now used defensively here from BK Stars early. Still looking for the Earth Shatter. Needs to live in order to make it happen, though.
Can he find it? Discord Orb does expire on him. The barrier getting ready to drop, and that's going to be the Transcendence coming out from the side of Alarm. Drops the hammer. Didn't quite see how many people might have got caught up, but it doesn't really matter because Wings are just getting wiped off the face of the earth. Carpe coming up big on that Genji. See yet again another nano boost lead on the Envy, but they just have to kite back immediately. He still gets taken out. They're still looking for the D.Va, but don't want to overextend too much further than that. 20 seconds is all that Wings have.
They're treating Zarya almost like a DPS here. That's only the straight up DPS of Oxo in the back that they're able to have. They switched over to Envy now on the Genji here, so they're completely switching up, but it feels like it's just too late here.
Yeah, but this is going to be a really late swap. As you say, less than 10 seconds on the board. No Dragon Blade built up. It'd be one hell of a fight. He's able to find it, but Amy already gets taken out by Carpe. Envy is able to answer one in onto Alarm, but they need much more than that. Finally getting things started here. Sprinkle goes down. Envy dashes through, finds Bunny. Could this be the opening that Wings needs to get the cap? Nearly there. Envy getting left on, keeps himself alive, at least for the moment.
Oh,
as
gets another.
Contesting this, and that will be the cap in overtime.
He makes it happen with the swap so late. He was.
Where was that? The whole,
I mean, he
start
had
of this map.
He had so little success with the Zarya. The constant harass was onto Umte non-stop. The whole focus was, okay, Umte is looking for the Earth Shadow. We're looking for some sort of parrying here. The big stuns to get the kill. Envy just eventually said, okay, I've had enough, switches to the Genji, gets so many picks there alone, survives with such little help, has the last killing blows there at the end. I think he picked up 4 in that last exchange, and they finally do force it. And he's built up quite a bit of that Dragon Blade as well with that last fight. While looking for the Pulse Bomb once again. Onto Umte, it's always been his target here, does get the pick onto Amy instead.
Drops a bomb, but gets caught by the explosion. Envy's there to pick up the pieces, takes him out. That's going to be 3-4 members going down here on the side of BK. Wings can just keep that payload moving closer up towards the bridge. Still a minute and a half time, definitely not in their favor. But with how far forward they're able to posture up here with Envy, it's looking like this could just keep rolling for a while.
They're just trying to harass nonstop here alone to keep the spawns going in, kind of slowing down the response here as they push under the bridge now. This is the hardest part. Now coming over towards the secondary bridge. Envy still has the Dragon Blaze. Hold on to it. Looks for the pick. Onto Soldier. Gets the kill onto Bernard. That's exactly what he was looking for. Removing that DPS.
All that deflection not going to do much there for Tarpon. He can just keep zapping away. Comes up with the kill. So only finds one for the Dragon Blade investment. Now Oxo firing off. Has that Nano Visor going. But the bubbles there. The Transcendence as well. Keeping BK Stars alive on the bridge. They'll hold control over the payload for now. Wings see what they want to do to try to get themselves back in. Do have a Primal Rage that they can use to try to knock people away, but speaking of which, we'll see Tarpon pop his, and Alarm actually snipes out Oxo, getting rid of that Soldier.
Okay, Tarpon, Primal Rage expiring here. He's trying to get another push is halted for now, though. They've got 35 seconds left to go. He's gonna have his Primal. They want the split spawns. They do get the kill onto Amy. This is going to be a tough push now for Rhinos Gaming, as they don't really have any ults to work with. The Primal could buy them some time. But so many available for BK Stars. They've got everything except the Transcendence realistic ready here. Tarpon got his money's worth with that Primal Rage.
It was a very solid investment from them. You can see BK Stars, they want to go ahead and they want to contest this way far forward, away from the payload, just dropping that sound barrier, and the Dragon Blade comes out here for Carpe. Finding one, gets rid of Oxo, follows up on Domingo. Can he get more of the answers? Yes, Envy goes down, Fury will fall, and it's just Umte by himself. Discord Orb comes through, he'll drop, and Wings, that's going to be the end of the push here. Barely, almost make it all the way to point B. So close after the start of that, but
yeah, preventing that second cap, and that was really, I like the idea to fight away from the payload, stop them there where they don't actually have the ability to stick on it, get the overtime. They knew that there weren't any real tools for them, no ults. They knew that the ults were used in the last fight, so Dragon Blade wasn't going to be contested by anybody. And Carpe shows, again, why he picks so much Genji.
I mean, it's fine. You know, if you're very proficient on the Genji right now, it's like the best meta that he could possibly be in. But, you know, knowing that he has that flexibility to bring out the McCree if necessary, to try to answer something like the pharmacy comp is good. But for now, he can just keep running this. And, you know, we were, I guess, a bit worried for BK Stars being locked into these picks, but Wings just aren't playing at a level that's able to match them, even with the flexibility that they're trying to show with these heroes. The skill hasn't been there to surpass BK.
So let's see what BK Stars wants to run on the attack. They have a very good chance of pushing this all the way past that second point. It was not a strong push for Rhinos Gaming. Wings, and it looks to be, once again, the dive. It's not broken, don't fix it. They're going to have Bernard, though, on the Pharah on the attack here, instead of running the Soldier to just kind of circumvent the defense from the skies, the high ground that Pharah is just up into there. And Umte is going to stick with the Reinhardt here defensively, and the Pharah is just going to try to circumvent that shield, force him to turn around. That's when the dive is going to have its most success. Tarpon will be on the ground as well as his own Ryan if he doesn't switch here to the Winston, which would be more expected out of Tarpon, especially with this composition. Let's see if he does switch that. Doesn't look like it.
Gonna be sticking with it by the look of things here.
No, he does switch it at the end, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I'm like, well, why would you run Ryan with this? It's a little bit unusual.
All right. Well, yeah, it does go back in for that dive composition, and Alarm Bernard going to be operating in on the pharmacy as they start poking around. Going off the left flank. Thought maybe we'd see them cut to the right.
You know, I like to put the DPSs back onto the low ground because they can hide behind that Reinhardt shield. They're up on the high ground before that, free to take damage.
Money already pushing in, looking for Amy. Down pretty low, but can't come up with the kill. But already you can see BK taking control over the point, nearly have that first tick completed. Bernard just keeps firing away from above.
He doesn't have much shield left. Oxo's vulnerable here.
Oh, he gets taken out. Yeah, Bunny was there inside to just go ahead and pick up the pieces of that kill. So Oxo goes down. Now looking for more. Heal the Knight comes through in onto Carpe, and he does fall in the end as Fury boops him out. But still, the war of attrition seems to be being won here by BK. Almost have that first tick.
And Oxo switching over to the Tracer to come back to try to hold this point, but there was just no answer whatsoever.
They get Amy. Gonna be big pickups here for the side of BK, who still have a pulse bomb ready to go. Might not even need to pop in here to get rid of that Diva. Mega double pulse bomb kill actually comes through, tosses it out. Barely blind, doesn't find the stick, but gets rid of Envy and Mango. That's gonna be the wipe here for BK Stars as they go ahead and cap the first point. So much time in the bank.
Yeah, basically with their first push, Bernard has the Rocket Barrage available. Carpe's gonna have the Dragon Blade here soon, who's just untouched on the Pharah, found so much damage there, and it was the support of Bunny to help finish off Oxo consistently there. Now he's on the Tracer, there's just not much of an answer. Envy will get the pick here with the dash. They needed this so badly.
And getting rid of him, not allowing him to get too much else there with the Barrage. And we're there to pick up the kill onto Amy. And he'll come back up. They'll be able to contest this. The payload still just starting to just sluggishly move along through the streets. But 4.5 minutes, and they have to stop this from reaching point B, basically. Wings, a lot of pressure on them here.
Envy's already taken out. Bunny is just going up here onto the castle, completely uncontested. Just doing free damage back here. No one's even shooting at him right now.
Yeah, it's ripping through him on the ramparts. Self-destruct comes through, not going to find anything. Calls out the pulse bomb, no stick to be had. So Bunny going to be replicating that pulse bomb here now, but still just keeps him zoned back, and the payload has not stopped moving yet. It's going slowly, but it still is progressing.
Carpe.
And now Carpe with a Dragon Blade, 2 kills. He'll get booped yet again by Fury.
Bernard gets double as well. They have so much time, and they're nearly there. They have a res available too here. Alarm has that ready. This is going to be so difficult. No one's even nearby. Okay, here comes Fury. He's the only one.
The suit's already going to die here. You can see the Winston jumping in. Can't block that. They pop him out as best as they can, and they will get rid of him. Bernard just finds the rocket target. Now trying to zone back onto Mango. He gets sniped out of the air actually by
Here comes the res. The res is coming in for it. Gets the triple.
Three coming up now. BK Stars, everything on this push. Can they get it? Still have plenty of time on the clock, but they lose 2 members right off the bat. Carpe and Bunny going down. So Bernard, the sole DPS, firing from above, has the damage boost coming in. Looking for Amy. One more shot would find it.
He's
Can't
out of
quite
fuel.
get it. Yeah, has to let himself go down. So BK Stars going to go ahead, regroup. 2.79 meters is how far they made it, but they still have 3 minutes on the clock, and you'd have to expect that they will be taking Eichenwald for themselves, be going to match point unless Wings can pull off a miraculous defense.
It's going to have to be the Miracle Defense. They have the Primal Rage. They have the Dragon Blade for this next setup. Bernard has the Rocket Barrage, and he's just been so uncontested so far. If it hasn't been Envy killing him, Mongo has just not been doing enough damage. Oxo can't get there. He's the Tracer. And he's just going to try to do the backdoor push here. Oh, so
sneak
close.
It back in. Yeah, gets it dangerously close, 4 meters. Meanwhile, Envy playing up in the front line, throws out the Dragon Blade, gets rid of Carpe, but doesn't find much else. Bernard popping yet another barrage. Finds a kill, has to go way up high, trying to avoid Umte with that Winston.
Primal Rage is trying to force this.
Yeah, he's trying to knock them back off. He gets that boop in onto the Diva, but he can fly his way back.
Okay, it's going to be a hold for now. BK Stars is going to have to set for another push. They used everything there. Sound Barrier is going to be available here in a second. The barrage wasn't enough. The Primal Rage was pretty desperate there from Tarpon to just try to force this to work. They still have 2 minutes of time to rebuild their ults. Bernard's going to switch to the Diva here. Going to look for another self-destruct potentially. They have a lot of tools to work with, but look, they may have overextended what ults they used, especially that Primal Rage in the last fight.
Bit of an odd one there, but BK time still on their side, but good delays coming through here for Wings. They'll start contesting, jump into the back line immediately, coming through from Tarpon, just trying to zone them out. Sound Barrier comes down, and Empty's going to be the first one to drop, so already a nice crucial pickup coming through from the side of BK Stars. They finish off Envy as well. Sound Barrier not hitting in time to keep the soldier alive. Oxo able to get rid of the monkey, but can they get anything else is going to be the question. He comes back in too low, gets taken out by Fury with the self-destruct. Just 1 meter left, all that BK Stars need, and Wings are still just limping their way back into the point. Umte desperately trying to get it, won't be able to, and that is going to be BK Stars picking up Eichenwald, moving to match point. Maybe we'll have 2-3-0s tonight.
It could happen, you know. In that last push, Carpe was also on the high ground doing so much free damage to knock Diva out of the mag. The self-destruct came out early there, and they just really forced it to work there. It was always the constant pushing forward of Bernard as well as Tarpon. And Tarpon just trying to use Primal Rage to push everyone on the point, then came up with a good bubble, did so much damage, and from the backline, Carpe was doing that extra McCree shots. We didn't have the first-person view of that, but he was up on the bridge, on the high ground, completely uncontested. The split spawns came in. They just couldn't hold on any longer. They had such a larger time pool to work with than the Rhinos Gaming Wings because they had a solid comp for the early push. Their Pharah comp just totally trashed Umte's Reinhardt. They couldn't actually hold there, so they had more time to use these several 6-man ults. And they pushed through there to the end. They just had so many more tools to work with, and even so, sometimes perhaps ulting a little bit too early or committing really hard when they didn't need to. But they had more time to rebuild the ults and come in for follow-up pushes.
Really good stuff here for BK. Looking like they might just close this out with that 3-0. Could just have a very swift night for us here at Apex Season 3.
I hope not, Achilleos, but I mean, it really feels like it might go that way. The first map was much closer than the second. Before we go to our third, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll come back with game number 3 between BK Stars and Rhinos Gaming Wings. He attacked Sombra, so didn't have the escape there.
This is
like.
quad DPS from Wings right now, if you count the Sombra as a DPS. Oxo does go down on the Widowmaker. We'll see if he wants to trade anything out, but he's already still a DPS player, so big change coming through from the side of Wings as Mango yet again flexes over onto the Tracer.
You're not going to be able to get as much on the attack from the hacked health packs unless you could steal a few. Should be mostly just building the EMP from the attack. Alarm, as you can see, doubling it because he has that extra benefit of the health packs. Just going to look for perhaps a cloak run in here for the hack. EMPs aggressively, knows he can build it so quickly, might as well just slow down the push. Bunny finds the pick on the Fury nonetheless.
I mean, but look at where Wings has been kind of isolated to. They've been pushed back towards point 2. Haven't really been able to get onto A yet. They get 3 kills in on the BK starts. That's going to be a big opening for them. Envy dropping down that EMP. Only finds a couple people.
I think it's going to be enough, though.
Well, they haven't even gotten the first tick yet. So we'll see how
Alarm
long
gets
this is
taken
going to
out.
last. Bernard is still in the vicinity on that Diva.
Just so split spawn right now, they can't get back onto the point. Everyone was sticking on the point B there, as that was where the fight was being taken, and it's just going to be a take here for Rhino Gaming Wings.
This is one of the most bizarre starts to any game that I've seen, let alone on Volskaya. Really, truly interesting to see.
This looks like a solo queue game almost in a way.
A little bit.
I
mean, quad DPS especially in that regard coming
Yeah.
through for Wings. It's really tricky, but they get the cap. They have plenty of time on the clock, 6 minutes.
This is when the Envy is the Sombra player who's mad and is just like, no, I'm really good at Sombra, I'm not going to switch, but then actually kills it. That's what we're seeing here so far. He has the EMP available, actually. As Mango is looking for the pick here onto Carpe.
mean, it's
With the
several
recall, he
options
may get a
available.
second chance at it.
Come back up here. Mango now the sound barrier coming down the EMP, dropped in by Envy. He invests quite a bit. The attack visor now coming out here from the side of Fury. Finds one. Can he get more?
Super technical here. What we're seeing from Rhino Gaming Wings to get the first tick right now already.
They're in onto this. They honestly might just have the cap right here. Second tick coming through. Can they get
Looks
onto the
like
point?
it.
Carve's coming in, the only one alive, but he can't deflect the Winston.
Ooh, he's
Couple
coming in
more
right
seconds,
now.
he drops just in time, pops the Primal
Primal
Rage,
Rage.
but if he steps off for a second, it's going to be really dangerous. Pursues forward, knows that his team is there to back him up, to maintain the spot in onto the point. So good communication coming up from the side of BK Stars, but Tarpon still goes down. Bunny having to be the recipient here of the nano boost. Not ideal, but it seems like they might have staved off Wings for long enough. The retreat on that control meter coming through. 5 minutes, they only invested a minute, and they still got both ticks. Wings in a very advantageous spot.
The question is, do they keep Envy on the Sombra? Looks like he's going to go for a drop-down EMP here. Again, actually snowball this again. There's the EMP. No escape here for Carpe. That's the EMP target he was looking for. It's the second time he's gotten a pick.
They just turn
on
onto
the
him.
Genji.
Deadeye coming through. Yeah, Bernard has to push back in here. He's the only one that can really contest through the Deadeye, but still loses the mech and goes down. Couple more seconds in onto this. It's going to fall, and Wings, there you have it. The kill onto Bunny. The tack visor comes up huge for them, and a massive cap as they complete point B.
Well, we've seen a lot of the rise of Sombra on defense, on two-point capture, on control maps, but never really used quite like this on the attack. It's not the first time we've ever seen it in competitive play, but this was really good usage of the EMPs, constantly hacking Carpe specifically as well to prevent his retreat. The accuracy from Envy, the targeting there, the tracking was really on point. Getting several kills there and just made it look like it's completely viable. The quad DPS, as you called it, really working out here for Rhinos Gaming Wings. And now they have an unheard of time bank, 429.
I mean, that is a really swift cap for these guys. But
They nearly got it earlier than that. You know, they actually
Yeah.
almost snowballed it. It was Bunny who bought just enough time there. Tarpon coming out with the Primal Rage. They almost got it in 1 millisecond later on Tarpon's flight in, and it would have been an even stronger time bank for Rhinos Gaming Wings.
I mean, like, you know, seeing the Sombra come out on attack, you know, seeing that work, really cool. But the quad DPS, I think I've seen it in Korea maybe once before while I was casting. I think this was back during the first promotion tournament when you and I were doing that going into Season 2 of Apex.
That's right.
It's definitely not popular at all.
Well,
and to see it brought out here by Wings with, you know, Mango going over onto the Tracer, it's
well, now
really
we're,
cool to see.
We're having the Torbjorn on the defense here with the Sombra.
They're just showing everything off now.
Well, I was surprised to see them take this map, given that BK Stars has been so publicly happy with this map, likes this map a lot, but for them to show this strategy. Clearly they've prepared really well for Volskaya. And see if this Torbjorn works out. We're going to have the hacked health packs once again. It's going to be double DPS with Fury and Oxo on the Soldier and the Tracer. And they're going to look for hacks once more. Carpe's actually going to be playing the McCree, though, not the Genji this time. So BK Star is changing up, not really running this dive composition this time. At least not with the Genji. Still having the Winston and Tracer.
Yeah, still showing the triple DPS. Let's see how this one's going to work out. Carpe already got a couple headshots in there onto Umte. Going to build up for that Deadeye as best as he can. And Bunny trying to just go ahead and swoop around from the backside. It's taken low. So has the recall available, has to go ahead and pop it as the enemy Tracer comes chasing in. Bernard able to get rid of Mango's turret twice in a row.
I'm not going to be able to hold on to that one. They actually control the high ground here too, so this is working really well for BK Stars. There's no contestation here for Rhinos Gaming Wings. They do need to step onto the point, cap it though.
Yeah, Mango goes down. Do we see a swap off the Torbjorn immediately is going to be the question. Envy, before he goes down, able to get the EMP off. Trying to, pick up some slack here for the rest of his team, but they can't really capitalize.
It's just Bernard on the high ground, mowing everybody down. There's no one to stop him.
This might just be another very swift cap. Oxo goes in trying to buy some time, but Carpe snipes him out from the high ground. And a second tick about to be achieved. Leap in coming through. Umte dies. As soon as he hits the ground, Bernard takes him out, and we're just going to have another very fast cap. Torbjorn not really finding much ground there to stand on, but Mango's sticking with it so far. 65% wants to get that Molten Core off at least once.
It's just when you look at this composition, when BK Stars took the whole high ground, what can kill that back there? It's going to have to be Oxo sneaking around back there, but Tarpon stopped that from happening, or Fury.
Well, Twinkle got sniped.
He had the low ground Soldier against the high ground. That's not going to be easy, and Envy doesn't have an EMP here. This just doesn't look to be a solid setup for Rhinos Gaming. They did get the pick, as you mentioned, on the Twinkle, but
he's literally just left clicking from the backside of the point. Comes up with the lucky headshot. Feels good. I mean, any chip damage he can get gets him the Molten Core, which would be a really massive delay tactic here from the side of Wings, especially when that EMP comes down.
Well, it's not ready yet. BK Stars just know exactly if he has it or not. They want to wait for it to come out before they use this large set of ults they have. Primal Rage almost ready here. Attack Visor could be used here with the sound barrier. There's the EMP coming in, actually. They waited with it.
Yeah, Bernard goes down right off the bat. Big Tag Visor answered back in with Fury. Comes up with multiple kills. It's locked down by Carpe, who does kill him, but he is answered for by Umte. So massive investment there from the side of BK Stars. Now we'll just be limping their way back in with a Primal Rage and a Transcendence.
Yeah, the patience from Envy there using the EMP once the ult started to come down. It's already back up halfway to another one. Better exchange in terms of ults used for Rhinos Gaming. Carpe's going to stick with the McCree on the attack here. Just much more common for BK Stars to be running the Genji in this situation. And unusual, I don't want to take anything away from Carpe's accuracy, but on the low ground, on the attack, it's a lot tougher to make this work than the standard dive. So obviously he's shooting up into all these defensive steps, including the turrets, which is probably why he doesn't want to run the Genji here.
Good pick off as they get rid of Umte. Bird going down as well, but they lose Bunny on the exchange. Tarpon going into that Primal Rage, trying to get a smack off the map. If he can find the Soldier, but just knocks him back in towards that spawn. Now looking for Mango, they will be able to take him out with the help of this corridor. There's Alarm, throws his balls accurately.
Very accurate balls there, pushing them off the point right now. Bernard, once again on this high ground.
But it's still not enough. They're getting these staggered kills.
Yeah, they need more. Gonna have to reset. Unless Bunny can carry this on his own. Pretty unlikely. Already used his recall. They're gonna back off. Mango, yet again, nearly up for one more ult of their setup here for BK Stars. They're going to switch Carpe finally now onto the Genji. This is what I expected to see earlier. I mean, it's obviously the Torbjorn can track a Genji very well with his turrets, but can also get in and kill those turrets very quickly, and then it won't matter the setup with the dive. Bunny's actually going to switch to the Roadhog, though, so they're not going full in on this. Really a wonky swap here.
Yeah, just the double dive here with the Winston and the Genji. So they're looking for the pick off on somebody like Envy, but that's going to be that EMP coming through. Bunny pulling himself back around the corner, trying to keep himself safe with the Tag Visor on the high ground yet again for Fury. Already finds two. Bernard and Twinkle going down. He'll jump down, and you can see, again, BK Stars halted right off the bat.
Molten Core still available here, and And he will likely have an EMP set up for the next fight because he's building that so quickly.
I mean, it's 2 ultimate investment there. Tac Visor really the only one of consequence because Envy will have another EMP very soon.
Can actually have Fury switch over to the Diva to build up some self-destructs. They want to hold this completely now on the second point. It's an interesting switch to the Roadhog because he hasn't been able to find anything. Even get close in.
Well, that's one core popped out here for Mango. Feels more than happy to go ahead and push up very far in. Gets Bernard. Taking him out, helps take down Bunny as well. Ultimate will expire. Sleep Dart landing in onto the enemy. They'll be able to get rid of him. So Bunny goes down.
Okay, so Bernard's not going to switch into the Zarya. Typically, they're just really struggling to deal with the Torbjorn, not sure what to do, and Bunny goes back onto the Tracer. Again, these heroes, the Dive Tracer, the Dive Genji, the turret has good tracking against their mobility, but it just feels like they're trying a little bit of everything here, as now Tarpon's going to set up with the Reinhardt
I mean, this
shield.
makes sense, so they can at least walk forward, deny the hits coming out from that shield, but the EMP is just going to drop in from Envy. Yet again, the translocation, putting him right above everybody. Bernard and Tarpon go down, alarm to answer. Bunny falls, 4 members dead.
They want
find
Carpe too.
They're trying to chase in for this and trying to stagger him as much as possible, but honestly, they'll just go ahead and heal back away from that one. But Wings right now looking set to finally pick up a map in this best of 5. A minute and a half just about on the clock here for BK Stars. Need to complete this push.
This may be the nano-boosted Dragon Blade coming in now. Alarm is ready for this.
I mean, Carpe needs to do some serious work.
He certainly will, he's certainly going to have to. Could be used on the Tarpon instead. He doesn't have an Earth Shatter. Okay, here's Carpe on the high ground. How is Alarm going to use this? We're waiting to see. It's maybe their last attempt, their last push. Which they're waiting to bait out the EMP, but Envy is just going to hold on to it.
Yeah, it's ready to go. Dashes to the side. It's going to go ahead, drops it down. So sound barrier comes out from both sides, but Carpe already finds one, gets rid of Amy, but he gets taken out yet again by Umte, who is always just sticking to him like glue with that Winston. Trade backs on both sides. Oxo and Bunny both going down. As Bernard keeps trying to beam his way up towards that Graviton Surge, only at 70%, however.
There was just
Stars, they poke in, they use the blade, and they don't get much.
It was just such a patient wait there by Envy. He waited until the Dragon Blade was used to pop that EMP, kind of nullifying the sound barrier there and the Dragon Blade together. And now he's again so close to another EMP for the next push, but they don't have that Dragon Blade. All they're really necessarily going to have is going to be that Earth Shatter and the Graviton Surge, but nothing to pair with. Not the Dragon Blade this time.
All right, well, Mango's been taken out here, Bunny, getting rid of that Torbjorn by himself. Self-destruct will drop, actually finds Carpe, a crucial pick-off, and one that BK cannot afford. Fury does die outside of the suit, but it's going to be Mango coming back in, has that Molten Core ready to go, pops it off. Tarpon finds Envy, couple kills coming through for BK. Is this the opening? It's going to be in overtime if they can get the cap. The first tick finally coming through, 4 members still dead. Fury coming back up, trying to delay as much as he possibly can, just zipping around on the Diva, but the suit is about to get popped. It goes down, Pulse Bomb coming out to try to guarantee the kill. A little bit wasted as Fury makes it away from the explosion, and now the rest of Wings are coming in, but they're just getting picked off one after another. Bernard, full charge with Nano Boost, rips through everybody like their paper. They get the cap in overtime. BK keeping their 3-0 hopes alive, but there's still so much time in the bank for Wings. Over 4 minutes.
You know, it was so important that Bernard survived there. Had they got the pick on him, he was down to, what, 40 health. He doesn't get that Graviton Surge. This game looks totally different. So, good on him to actually know when to back off there and be patient for his teammates to come back in, drop the Graviton Surge out after getting healed. And that was the beginning of the end there for that push. Also, Bunny just consistently impressing me without having any backup or any support. He gets just double kills vanilla without the pulse bomb so many times by his teammates. That respawn time, that pushback onto the base. So a much larger pool of time here, though, for Rhino Gaming Wings. Obviously 4.5 minutes on the clock.
We will have a pause, but yeah, I mean, I was very concerned when I saw that pulse bomb go out onto the mech and then not kill the Diva. I thought maybe that would be the undoing for BK Stars, but finished it off in the end. Seems like we might just have a slight little issue in one of the booths. So we'll be getting this taken care of
Interesting setup
Back
here
underway.
for Carpe, by the way.
He's got like a blanket or a towel going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, wrist guards for keyboards so that you don't kind of slam your wrist into the sharp angle of the desk, but this is next level. That's got to be a comfy way to make sure your wrists aren't getting that carpal tunnel damage. Speaking of Carpe, looks like it's his mouse that has the problem, just based on this camera shot that we have here, so we'll get that resolved as soon as possible.
Being the Genji player, definitely need to have control over your mouse.
Yes.
So
That is quite critical.
get that taken care of and dive back into this one. As, I mean, backs still against the wall for BK Stars, despite the fact that they complete that hold. 4 minutes, 29 seconds is what Rhinos Gaming has accrued for themselves.
BK Stars had that really strong first push, but they just had to run through, I feel like, 5 or 6 different types of compositions to eventually then figure out how to deal with
They changed up everything.
They eventually dealt with the Torbjorn.
I'm still just really impressed by Rhinos Gaming Wings pulling off that quad DPS. That was one of the cooler things that I've seen as of late. As that is so high risk, high reward. I mean, it's like extra high risk.
Well, as we see more and more Sombra players start to understand their limits and have really insane tracking, they're a fairly large clip. I mean, players like Envy that play like 5-6 heroes in competitive and televised matches just adds another to the list. Looked really strong there. As Mango also showing a bit of a deeper hero pool, only playing the Ana really in promotions and now switching it up completely. So we'll watch this once again. The Graviton surge.
Yeah, so crucial. Just gets it right before.
Yeah.
So had that been timed any differently, that very well could have been the hold there on
Or,
point B.
had he been picked, he was so low, no one was able to figure out where he was to finish him off.
They're trying this again. As Oxo comes back onto McCree. I'm getting the hack. 4 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. The hold needing to be completed for the side of BK Stars. They go ahead, they get rid of Oxo, but they lose Tarpon. Rejoin the fight fairly quickly by leaping his way back in. But yet again, Wings find themselves wrapped around the backside towards point B.
For BK Stars, they obviously want to full hold this. That's going to be the best opportunity to close out this series.
I mean, they need to.
Yeah. I mean, they absolutely have to. So the time make is at 0.
This is actually pretty neat because now they cut off Tarpon. So if he wants to rejoin the team, he has to go through everybody on the side of Wings. They'll take him out. Can they poke back in is going to be the question, because the same thing's going on for Oxo on the other side of the fight.
Exactly.
So they're just like, well, you know what? We'll kill your reinforcements, you kill ours, and it's basically a war of attrition. Whoever can get the most pickoffs in between the points is going to be the ones that comes out on top.
Okay, EMP comes down first, actually, for Envy, second for Alarm, and I think that's going to be the better end of this for BK Stars. They come in second. Actually, pretty even exchange.
Alarm firing off, trying to find more kills. They're able to get rid of Fury. Recall coming through for Mango, keeping himself alive, but so they'll be staved off here. So 3 minutes now on the clock. They've run it down about 1.5 minutes for BK Stars, but there's still a long ways to go.
Yeah, it's really important to note, as we talked about last time with the Sombra versus Sombra, is that the defensive health pack hacks are always going to be easier to build ult charge with than the attacking Envy here. So another EMP should be up faster for Alarm. Carpe is going to have the Dragon Blade. They could pair that together. Look for a bunch of picks, shut down the push.
Primal Rage is here for them. They can smack them off the point, buy some time. Remember, they just have to get to that 33% mark in order to take this out. And Carpe goes down. Fury snipes him with the Helix Rockets. So dashing in, maybe looking for that Pulse Bomb target as Fury goes sprinting away, pops the Tac Visor, trying to get a kill in, but still is just being hounded. Gets zoned around the side. Pulse Bomb coming down from the side of Mango. Won't find anything, but still multiple kills picked up for Wings as they go forward. Now have the sound barrier dropped in. It's 3 members in on the side of BK4 as Bunny respawns, trying to zip his way back in, and that should be it. 33% achieved. Wings will pick up on that in this best of 5. They get full Skya. They keep their hopes alive.
Well, the attack Sombra, the quad DPS, the Torbjorn defense with defense Sombra as well, they definitely seem to be most prepared for Volskaya. And it showed here in that third map. So we're going to escort now. Rhinos has the ability to potentially reverse sweep. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, of course, though. But that was definitely really well prepared. And BK Stars struggling to deal, especially on attack, with all the unique composition that was coming out of the Torbjorn. They just could not kill. The positioning was good. Constant hacks coming out from Envy as well onto Carpe, really limiting the ability to find those picks as Genji. Didn't want to switch back to it. Eventually did, but they had to run a ton of different compositions with the time bank they had to actually eventually get there on the overtime. Rhino State Gaming just had so much more to work with. Looked much better there. But again, this was just one map that they looked really prepared on. It's time, Achilleos, for the tactical pause.
Yep, looks like we'll have this one called out. Should be from the side of Rhinos as we see the coach entering into the booth. So 3 minutes on the clock for these guys. So you know what? We gotta win. Let's take a timeout. Let's just try to work through how we're going to approach this escort map. Because Eichenwald, definitely not stellar for them. Don't have to get that initial cap like they really struggled with as they move over onto escort, but still getting the payload moving, trying to get it all the way to point B was still a very big, difficult task for them. So let's give some time to consider, I mean, even what map to draft.
Yeah, definitely the case here. Wonder where they'll take this, because they've shown so much flexibility with the triple tank, but it feels like Umte on the Reinhardt really had some trouble. I feel like this could be a Dorado map for sure, especially with Envy really liking to play the Zarya. So we could see the Zarya usage on Dorado to try to hold that first, angle around like the fountain there. Something we've seen a lot of in the past out of this team. So I'm leaning towards Dorado for being the map that they want to do. Of course, it's not their map pick, but that's the map they would like to play on. So we'll see what BK Stars brings to the table. Maybe want to play around that Zarya.
We've seen a lot more Gibraltar as of late, but we'll see if they want to go for that one. We have, recently, at least on land, Rhinos Gaming Wings, last time we saw them, they did play Dorado. Struggled a bit. They didn't pick up wins. It was closely fought, but they weren't able to finish it out. So that could be a weakness, perhaps, that BK Stars has identified. They want to move over to that.
Yeah, if we're going to Gibraltar, look for Widowmaker plays most of the time, especially on the attack. We've seen that really dominate the map so far. The other team's having stellar Widowmaker players, so maybe if you've got that in your pocket, you haven't really shown it yet. If you want to bring it out here, that's what you do if you're BK Stars. Maybe Carpe's got, he showed great McCree. Maybe he's got another Widowmaker in there as well. He could bring out onto Gibraltar to surprise Rhinos Gaming. I feel like if I am Rhinos, I really want the Dorado, just based on their playstyle. So BK, if they can think into that and realize how Rhinos has been playing mostly on that map and how strong they've been there, I want to avoid that pick.
Just about 30 seconds left on the clock. See how Rhinos is going to push forward, because as we go into escort, doubt we're going to be seeing stuff like that quad DPS. Need people to play around on the payload, make sure that it's still moving forward, so don't really have that luxury.
So keep in mind also in the match versus Meta Athena, they did take the loss on Dorado to lose the series 1-3, BK Stars did, so another reason to potentially avoid the map. As Carpe didn't really show that much McCree there, which has been a map we've seen a lot more McCree of, starting with promotions. The pause ends here. We'll see where they decide to go with this one. Mute looks really stressed out. I feel like especially Eichenwald, he was one of the weak links. Just completely circumvented by the Pharah play from Bernard. I mean, we could definitely see on Gibraltar if that's going to be the map pick. It's also strong on Dorado, so that's a big concern. Perhaps talking about Umte on the Reinhardt. Maybe should be playing a little bit more Winston. Just want to see this map, Achilleos. We're going to find out what it is right now.
Well, 3 options. What's it going to be? It's going to be Gibraltar, actually.
Okay.
So, still going to be sticking with the current trend, you'd have to say, as this has very much been the most popular escort map that we've had in recent times.
See if they want to run the dive here on attack. Sort of setup they're going to use. It's been so dominant for them. And Carpe has shown his McCree to be quite legit in terms of defense. Bernard as well, the high ground soldier you can use. You can definitely run a double rage DPS for the defense on this map. We'll see what they have planned, but I like the choice. I definitely appreciate that they avoid the Dorado pick here, as it's been kind of a thorn in their side in the past.
I mean, I want to see, how these teams are going to approach the defense, especially because we have seen that triple DPS going out on defense as well. So a lot of flexibility now with this current meta. We'll see how these guys want to approach it. Rhinos Gaming Wings still backs up against the wall, still at match point. BK leading the series 2-1, but maybe they turn that momentum train around in their favor. We'll see if they can come up with a win here as we move over on to Gibraltar for game number 4.
I get it.
Here we go. Fans still hanging in there.
So here we go. Let's see exactly how they're going to set up here for the defense. It's going to be Rhinos Gaming on the defense first. So this is a map where Oxo could opt away from the Tracer and play that McCree's been showing us a lot, but it looks like that's not how he wants to play us, at least to start off.
Yeah, seems like it's going to be the 2-2-2 coming out. So going to keep things very standard for themselves, not changing up a whole lot.
Honestly, I like the idea to run the Ana and the Zenyatta, skip the Lucio, because you have a wide spread on the high ground here on this map. So with the reduction of Lucio's spread on his heal, sometimes he's not going to be able to cover everything that you've got going for you here. So they start to fan out once the defense starts, especially with Oxo on the Tracer. And BK Stars, I think, is trolling us a little bit, but they'll definitely commit to the Sonic Arrow, you have to imagine, with Bernard, and then switch into very likely a dive comp of some kind. Will it be the triple DPS? We're about to find out.
So far it is with Twinkle. Gonna be scouting at least here with the Hanzo. Don't think we'll see him commit forward with this one. However, Swing wants to make sure no one's playing up onto that walkway. Hit in on the side, swap back over onto Lucio as they continue to push forward. So triple DPS will still come through. Bernard on the Soldier. Bunny on Tracer and Carpe coming back here on the Genji. So starting things off with a very strong dive comp and having that range DPS to offer up from Bernard. But Carpe getting picked off is going to be a very rough start as Envy starts firing away. Takes out Tarpon as well, so K-Stars getting halted.
Aggressive positioning there from Carpe as well, trying to slide in on the bridge. Unfortunately unsuccessful. So as we expected, neither of these teams really having a solid Widowmaker to run on that, so that's completely out of the question for these two right now. They're just kind of running similar compositions, the difference being the Oxo Tracer versus the Carpe Genji.
Bunny trying to work his way onto that high ground now. Making sure that he's not getting flanked. Build up for that pulse bomb. You see though, Wings gonna go ahead, peel back, drop off of the high ground, their way to the other side of this underpass, and just get set up right on top of point A.
Maybe the plan here is bolts for both teams fairly similar at this stage. Carpe getting picked early on though means Dragonblade is quite significantly behind where he would like it to be for this push around the edge where he can dive in. Dies once again.
Yeah, actually just gets taken out by Fury. It's pretty much just single-handedly killing him. There's only so much you could do, you know, with the deflection to try to answer some damage back in onto the Diva, but
can't deflect that rocket boost.
yeah, the boop kills him. So BK Stars, you know, building up for some of these ultimates. Bernard nearly having the attack visor ready to go, but it's going to be answered by the side of Wings, where Envy has had his for a little bit of time, and Primal Rage getting ready to be up, as well as that Transcendence. We see that come through, so nearly 6
like
to
to
the side
see,
of the Rhinos.
like to see the Transcendence come in first here for Carpe to get that Dragon Blade off, but already there's the pick on the Tarpon. Here's the Transcendence I was talking about. Envy, unfortunately, not able to find anything with attack visor against it.
Yeah, Nano Visor not going to get much. It does kill Bunny right off the backside of that one on the self-destruct. Actually finds Twinkle. That could halt BK Stars quite a bit. Carpe, though, with the Dragon Blade right on the tail end of that, dashes forward, finishes off Amy. And now the payload right in front of point A, but here comes Umte yet again. Primal Rage ready to go. Can buy a lot of time to try to drain that clock down to under a minute as best as he can. Still, Wings losing several members. Mango goes down very early yet again, and without him, without that biotic grenade, Umte will fall. They find Amy, so no supports here available. Fury falls, and that is going to be BK Stars completing the push. 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. A decent amount of time to work with as they move into the hangar.
Rhinos Gaming not really having any tools defensively here either. Oxo does have the Pulse Bomb. Looking for a pick on the backside. They actually move up onto this shuttle in the hangar. Bernard just waiting for an amazing tack visor opportunity. There's no way to dive onto him right now for Rhinos Gaming. Only Oxo really could be the choice, and he's winning the high ground battle as well.
I mean, you have to send MT really to try to knock him off, and even then, it'll be so risky because you can see those Discord orbs coming out. And that's how it happens. That's how you get rid of those tanky members very quickly. Tack visor coming down. Bernard desperately trying to find a target. Hasn't found anything yet, really. Will finally lock in onto Mango right at the end with the help of Carpe, and they take him out. But a very swift push coming through the hangar phase here from BK Stars, and they might just get the completion right here. Fury trying to dash his way in. But
not gonna last very long.
It's already coming down. Umte jumps in, does drop down the bubble, but that's gonna be Carpe drawing out the Dragon Blade, finds Amy right off the bat, helps take down Umte. The team wipe basically fulfilled.
They didn't even have to use Transcendence there. The Primal Raid's going to be available here very soon. This payload is flying. This is a great escort so far, as Carpe is looking to even find some backline kills here as they camp the spawn. No one's even paying attention to him.
Yeah, they didn't even see him. He just slides in over the top, drops down behind them, and just tries to build up for that Dragon Blade.
He's got a third of it already.
Yeah. So very swift coming in on all fronts here from BK Stars, including the ultimate timings. And honestly, one of the big ones is Mango here, who keeps getting picked off right at the start of the fight. Pulse Bomb comes down, not going to find him, but uses the Biotic Grenade onto himself. Sleep Dart connects, that'll keep him alive, at least for the moment. Can they follow up with the kill is going to be the question. Soundberry comes down, Oxo does finish off the enemy Tracer, and now they start fighting back. BK Stars already suffering 2 losses. Bunny and Twinkle go down. The respawns will start coming through, but this halts the push, at least for a moment, gives Wings some time to breathe.
It's just the high ground's always been controlled by Bernard. If he's had enough of that, he's going to switch on to the Genji, which I do like. Just been consistently high ground here.
Boost in on Upte.
Now Upte's going to see what he could get. Gets a double here, Alarm and Bernard. It's going to buy them a lot more time. Didn't have to Primal Rage either.
Oh, and he should be able to finish off Carpe here. He can dash his way back in. The bubble comes down, trying to keep him safe as best as they can. So he will live, but Bunny cannot say the same. Yet again goes down. Finishes him off with a boop.
We were singing the praises of Mango's Ana in the promotion tour. We're going to watch this again. Beautiful Biotic Grenade and the Nano Boost together. That's what's going to allow him to clean up that fight.
See, that's what we saw from him from the promotion tournament. That's why we were really hyped to see him perform. But prior to that play right there, he was consistently getting picked off at the start of the fight, but finally waking up in these exchanges is Mango.
Not even consistently playing the Ana either, but look at this push coming around. Bernard going to wait for this bubble to pop down, then he could possibly top down that tack visor. He's going to wait here. Carpe trying to control the spawn, gets the double right in that location. And this is moving right towards the finish line here. BK Stars with 2 minutes left. Envy doesn't have that Dragon Blade yet, and there's so many tools for the BK Stars.
They're going to pick off on the Fury as well.
No one can get out of the spawn. Umte's going to have to use his Primal Rage.
Pops it, trying to stick on here, but the Discord Orbs yet again can really just help rip through him. Bernard has that tack visor rolling, and Umte, he's on the high ground trying to deal with the soldier, but nobody else is tagging the payload. Completion does come through from BK. Rough start, was getting worried right in front of point A there. Seemed like maybe Rhinos would have been able to hold it down, but actually a very rare completion of Gibraltar does come through.
Yeah, they got the spawn cap there at the end. Really just felt like Bernard was outplaying Envy when you compared the soldiers against each other in terms of positioning and accuracy. Had so much more support. Oxo could never get in for the harass. And realistically, it was always Umte, actually, I feel like, who was really able to get the kills, pairing there with Mango, but Envy just looked a little bit lost. He switched finally back to the Genji there at the end, but it was too little too late. Didn't have the Dragon Blade, couldn't get out of the spawn. So a full push, like you said, very unusual. And BK Stars, despite their hiccup and the strong preparation that Rhinos showed on Volskaya, they like to close this one out 3-0. It's not over yet, though. And Envy is actually looking for the Widowmaker here, potentially.
We could see it on the opening. I mean, if you guys didn't see the games just from Friday, Kariv popping off on the Widowmaker was absolutely destroying Rogue.
Pine as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Pine especially. I mean, he is the Korean Widowmaker, really, in my eyes, the original. But you might see this here from Envy on the attack. Attack Widowmaker is where it's a bit rarer. We saw Asher trying to dual Pine with the attack Widowmaker, and it just was not working out at all.
No, that was Don't go back and watch that one. Don't Google that.
I mean, watch Pine destroy him, but don't watch it from Asher's point of view and expect a very good Widowmaker play.
Even watching it from Pine's perspective, it can be a little bit painful. All right, he's going to commit to it. He has the boost, and they do have the Discord Orb, so they're looking to have good target selection. Oh.
Maybe? No? Okay.
Okay.
He's faking us out.
Well, he wanted to maybe hide to make sure no one was scouting him. There's the sound. Sonic Arrow coming out. It's all about target selection. Whoa! Reflect there already.
Good reaction from Carpe. Didn't quite have the angle to get the kill in on the Envy, but still comes up with a nice deflection.
Good respect by BK Stars. As soon as they see this, they backed off.
Oh, so close. Almost takes out Tarpon. Barely makes it out of there with his life.
So this does give them the push around the corner, but BK Stars didn't lose anybody there. They showed real respect. They give everyone the line of sight. Now they're actually going to harass in the back line.
Be really good. Grapple hook takes himself up to the high ground, but has to drop right back down as the enemy once in comes pursuing in. Tarpon trying to finish him off, but actually bites off way more than he can chew. Several members just turning onto him, and it's actually the spray down with the machine gun from Envy that comes up with the kill. Carpe does answer one onto Umte, but so far the push will continue fairly uninterrupted here for Wings.
Just really patient was BK Stars until Tarpon decided to go in there. That's exactly what Rhinos Gaming wanted. Gives them the pick to come around the corner.
There we go.
Kill. He finally gets it this time.
I mean, that was actually just really poor from Envy. Takes a shot after the deflection was already up. So just a bit too trigger happy. Carpe get their vengeance there for their Widowmakers if he takes them out, but Amy will fall. So BK Stars finding these crucial pickoffs, getting rid of the likes of the Mercy, delaying that res from coming through, just buy them more time on this initial push, but it's still 2.5 minutes that Wings has to deal with just to get up this ramp and turn the corner.
Yeah, it's such a long time, and now they switch into Envy, but he's going to have to do this alone without the Dragon Blade. He's going to spend so much of this 220 to actually build that right now. Transcendence is coming in. It's going to be his opening to potentially find it.
Trying to give him alive both sides, dropping it out. Pulse Bomb comes through. Not going to find anything there from Bunny, and Oxo takes out Tarpon in the meantime. Bunny's still just playing far in, trying to just get on top of these Discord Orb targets and work through them, but not really finding any success in that regard. Carpe drawing out the Dragon Blade. Don't exactly have an angle on him to see how it's going, but he comes up with a couple kills. Meanwhile, Bernard drawing out that tack visor, tries to get onto Mango. Comes up with a double, but gets taken down, and Mango actually finds a double kill for himself. Twinkle and Bernard both going down to the hands of the enemy. Zenyatta Doa would be quite happy to see that one.
I'm sure he certainly will when he watches this spot. If he's not watching live, self-destruct coming in. Fury trying to force this into the checkpoint right now, but he might find himself split spawn. He does get away. That was a close call. Does not want to be split spawn with the late respawn timer here.
Yeah, 3 meters left to go here for the side of Wings. Sound barrier, though, coming down from here for the side of BK Stars, but it's not early enough to keep Alarm alive, so they lose Zenyatta. They do trade in onto Envy and Amy. Now Mango going down, the support's taken out as BK holds firm right in front of this point A.
Carpe,
the retreats coming through from Wings is going to buy them some time, maybe even get a little bit of rollback for BK Stars as they hold firm. A minute left on the clock for Wings.
I want to go back to the storyline we told at the beginning of, Carpe and Bunny only playing the Genji and the Tracer, but so far it seems like Carpe is consistently the better Genji player. In the time it took Envy to build just the one Dragon Blade, he nearly has 2, so if you're playing mostly a Genji, it would stand the reason that when Envy is playing 5-6 heroes, his might just not be as good as yours.
And I mean, we can sing them praises because they are playing very well, Carpe, especially on the Genji, and coming up with relative success so far, but this is not going to work out when you start playing against that upper echelon of teams, when you go against the likes of Meta Athena again, when you go against Envious, who have had quite a lot of time practicing in prep for Korea. The chances of success just dwindle down. So still need that flexibility. We've seen a little bit from them, but we need the McCree to go to grow to this level of performance that we see on the Genji for Carpe.
It looks like it might not matter in this best of 5 though, Achilleos, as he's holding on to that Dragon Blade right now. And the Wings have 5 seconds to commit in. Maybe it's going to be the battle of the Genjis here, as Envy does have his Dragon Blade. They've got one shot at this to make it work. Here's the Transcendence as well, coming in.
Wings trying to get this final push. Bunny coming in from the backside. Has to go ahead and kite back right off the start of the fight. That's going to be the Primal Rage. Popped out here by Tarpon, trying to knock them out away, but Envy, he has the Dragon Blade, and he's already found 2. Twinkle and Bunny both going down. Several members of BK, the remaining ones, all low. The team wipe completed. That's going to be the push here for Wings. Not losing anybody on that, but now 2.5 minutes, all that they have to work their way through the hangar. We saw how quickly that BK Stars were able to pull this off. If Wings could replicate that, their chances of getting all the way to point C would be alive. You can see already how far forward they're playing.
Yeah, they had to use literally everything here, but they just really want to control this and make this a hard shove as far as they can get it to slow down the respawning members of BK Stars. Here comes Bunny in from the back, looking for the pulse. Always targeting Umte, it feels like. May find his pulse onto a Lucio instead. Doesn't even need it so far. Use the recall. Does get the pick there onto Amy as Carpe looks to pop the Dragon Blade.
That's the kite back though, the Winston sticking to him yet again. Dashes his way out to the side, gets the health pack, keeps himself alive, but they stop the payload halfway through.
I think part of the problem here was exactly as you said, Rhinos Gaming pushed so far forward because they wanted to control BK Stars, and that's when Bunny found these picks because everyone was positioned so aggressively. Didn't take him very long to get into the backlines. He got several picks there, and still has his pulse bomb available.
I mean, it's a bit of a catch-22, you know. Do you sit somebody on the payload, have everybody else shove forward and try to hold them at the choke points, or do you just all pile onto the payload, get the faster, push, and then have them come to you, so maybe you still make it just as far, if not shorter distance. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Either way, they make it about halfway through, but now BK Stars, they are angry. They want the win right here. They get rid of Bengo and Amy. Those supports out for the side of Wings. One trade back as Tarpon goes down, as does Carpe, but still BK Stars. There's no way for Wings to push up on this payload. Bunny gets the hamstring kill. Big stagger on
That's a
Envy now.
huge stagger.
So
and he was the hunter, man. Bunny is carrying this one so hard right now.
This is not looking good for Wings.
Once again, not even having to use the pulse bomb. They're going to have the sound barrier. They can help use that to build the tac visor, which is nearly available now. They have so many tools for delay. Rhinos Gaming, they won that last push. They got the first checkpoint with about 6 ults. This time they don't have as many.
Tac visor ready here for Bernard, trying to get rid of that bubble. Does so, and you can see almost gets the Winston, but that's going to be the Transcendence coming down on the ground floor from both teams, or from the side of Mango. And here we go, slicing and dicing away is Envy. Comes up with 2 kills, and with the help of the rest of his squad, gets the wipe yet again, and that'll be the completion in overtime. This just seems to be the recipe for success for the side of Wings. This will be a last-second contest, it looks like, though, from the side of BK Stars, popping out that sound barrier, working their way in around the corner, trying to keep themselves healthy. Bunny looking for the pulse bomb. Can he find it? The Transcendence now coming down for BK Stars. Nice
Carpe
chaining here, keeping everybody alive, but Bernard actually dies off the backside. Fury takes him out, but
Dragon Blade
with the Dragon Blade comes up with 1. They get rid of Amy, they lose Alarm, gets Umte right at the tail end. Self-destruct, not gonna find anybody, but Wings have suffered such heavy losses. Oxo going down, Fury popped out of the mech, he'll get stomped out. That'll be the overtime ticking down, and BK Stars, it looked like Wings had the push, but right at the end, they all pile in, chain together the sound barrier into Transcendence, keeping everybody topped off. They hold them off, they take them out, and they come up with the win 3-1.
So patient, using those, staggering the ults to, make sure they weren't stacked on top of each other. That bought enough time for the Dragon Blade to come out from Carpe. He was going to clean everything up. And once again, Rhinos Gaming just committed everything in. It was the Envy push that got them the first checkpoint. It was the Envy Dragon Blade with the Transcendence. They looked to get the second. There was just enough time bought there from BK Stars with the 2 defensive ults to get that Dragon Blade for Carpe, and that was all she wrote. Good patience here by BK Stars, and when it mattered most, when they went back to the triple DPS with Carpe on the Genji and Bunny on the Tracer, it was good enough. And you were critical of this, we both were critical of this early on in the series, and even though they took this best of 5, it does beg the question you brought up earlier, will this be enough against the stronger teams going into the group? Against Meta Athena, it was not. Against Envious later on, it may not be either.
But they keep their hopes alive for the moment. Losing here would have almost